Zella, and you're listening to Frey. Starting right now, here's your host Alfredo Leon.
Thank you, hello, this is D. Frey. Let's begin with the news about Major League Baseball and more history being made in Major League Baseball. As we'll get into it as on Wednesday night, Boston Red Sox pitcher, Chris Sale struck out 13 Baltimore Orioles batters to reach 300 strikeouts. Sale is the first American League pitcher since Pedro Martinez, who struck out 313 in 1999 and was also a member of the Red Sox then. He is also the second pitcher in franchise history to strike out 300, and Pedro did it only once in Boston. Martinez also struck out 305 hitters as a member of the Montreal Expos in 1997. Sale joining Pedro is considered to be breathing rare air, and Sale said after the game that he's not taking the accomplishment for granted, as according to the Providence's journals. Tim Britton. That's special. We all know that's about as good as a company as you can get, said Sale. Just appreciative of it. It's fun. Being here and hearing that name thrown around is special to me. I don't take it lightly. He's one of the best to ever step on the mound. To be in the same sentence as him is pretty crazy to me. The potential front runner for AL Cy Young recorded 191 of them away from Fenway Park, which is the most by any pitcher on the road in at least the last 104 years, according to USA Today's Bob Nightingale. Sale was on the mound in the 8th inning, needing one strikeout to reach the milestone. After a couple of groundouts, he struck out Ryan Flaherty looking at on an 83-mile-an-hour slider. The 13th strikeout game raised his strikeouts per 9 innings to 12.9 on the season, which is far and away the best rate among qualified starting pitchers this season. In comparison to Curt Schilling, who punched out 300 batters on 3 different occasions but never posted a K per 9 rating higher than 11.29. Even Nolan Ryan, who's the all-time leader in strikeouts, never had a K per 9 rating as high as Sale's this season. As far as his most common victims, Sale has struck out New York Yankees outfielder Aaron Judge and Tampa Bay Rays slugger Steven Souza Jr. 10 times each. Sale is scheduled to have at least one more start on September 26th against the Blue Jays, giving him a chance to break Pedro's single-season franchise record of 313. Pretty incredible accomplishment by Chris Sale. I sort of knew this was going to come because of how many strikeouts he had. 287 strikeouts. I knew he was going to get it at some point because he only needed 13 strikeouts left in order to be the first pitcher since Pedro in 1999, and that's a pretty incredible accomplishment there. And this guy is not a guy who throws hard. You would think that a guy throwing hard would be able to get all these strikeouts. He's been able to accomplish throwing strikeouts by throwing sidearm, which confuses hitters, and that's how he's able to get his strikeouts because hitters are confused with the sidearm, and that effectively affects lefties more than righties because of the sidearm, because they don't anticipate when it comes out of the ball, and him throwing a lot of sliders and fastballs can really affect how a hitter approaches him, because sidearmers, whether they throw left or right, can really be challenging to hitters as they don't anticipate when the ball comes out of the seams when throwing on the mound, and it's very challenging to find hitters that could hit sidearm, especially lefty on lefty or righty on righty. And Sale, he's one of the best pitchers in the game. And unbelievable how he was able to do this with his very skinny weight. He's only 190 pounds, despite being 6'2" or so. It's unbelievable what he's able to do. And he's had a history of wearing down late in the season. However, that did not affect him this time, though, as he was able to get 300 strikeouts, being the first Red Sox pitcher since Pedro in 1999, and the first in baseball, in the American League, period. Pretty unbelievable, despite the fact that there have been strikeout pitchers since. It's hard to get 300 strikeouts in a season. It's important to stay healthy, go deep in games. And that's all a big factor as far as trying to get 300 strikeouts, because it's important to have longevity, throw a lot of innings, get deep into games. All that stuff plays a factor, and that plays a factor when your team winning games, because that's the only way your pitcher could be able to last that long into a game, late in the game, because pitchers throw harder and they end up getting wear down a lot easier, because the harder they throw, the more like they can put a stress on their arm, and then they throw a lot of pitches, and that's how they end up having to go to the bullpen and then throw in for other relievers that throw hard as well. Unbelievable, when you throw a lot of pitches, when you get a lot of strikeouts, it causes you to throw a lot of pitches. But that doesn't affect Sale, as he's thrown a lot of pitches and got a lot of strikeouts in the number of innings he's thrown. Unbelievable longevity throughout the season, being able to stay healthy, and be able to go deep in games is a big factor as far as trying to get a lot of strikeouts. And that all plays a big factor into it. And he's not a hard thrower, like I said, but the way he delivers and stuff, that plays a big role as far as trying to get 300 strikeouts in a game, because that's key to it trying to last that long and last that many innings. It's pretty incredible. As far as the Cy Young possibilities, I don't know if he's going to win it, because just because you do something like that does not mean you'll win a Cy Young award. Doesn't mean anything. Look what happened with pitchers like Felix Hernandez when he won the Cy Young. I believe it was in 2012, 2011, one of those, 2010. And he didn't have the best record, and his team didn't even win. So it doesn't really matter how your stats are. It's all about like how the team's doing and stuff. And despite what happened with Corey Kluber going on the DL, I think he's probably the man to be the front runner for Cy Young, especially how dominant the Cleveland Indians have been. And they're one of the favorites to go to the World Series again and try to get their revenge from last year when they lost to the Chicago Cubs. But I think Kluber has a shot at winning the Cy Young. So does Chris Sale. But Sale, I don't know if he's going to be able to win it, because just because you have the stats doesn't mean you're going to win. It's all about how your team does. And they're only 3 games up on the New York Yankees right now in the division. And if the Yankees could come back and win, that could sort of affect Sale's chances of trying to win the Cy Young. And that plays all a big factor based on how your team is doing and the performance and everything like that. It's very important and very crucial as far as trying to win and try to get an award like Cy Young, because getting an award of the Cy Young Award is pretty prestigious to try to get, because you have to have had an incredible impact on your team and have one of the best years in the league. And he has, but just because he gets 300 strikeouts doesn't mean he's going to win it. But if he does win, it could be because of that, because it's pretty historical what he did. The fact that no pitcher had done it since '99, it's unbelievable. There's been a number of strikeout pitchers that could have done it since, like CC Sabathia or Justin Verlander or Max Scherzer. Any one of those guys could have won it when they were in the American League. Well, they did. But as far as getting the strikeouts, any one of those guys could have gotten 300 strikeouts if they wanted to, but they never had that opportunity to get that many strikeouts, probably because they didn't, not because they didn't go deep in games, but maybe because they didn't get as many strikeouts as Sale has. Because of the fact that his strikeouts per 9 is so high, like I said earlier, it's unbelievable that he has 12.9 per 9 innings strikeouts. It's unbelievable. That doesn't hurt as far as trying to get strikeouts at a lot quicker rate. And the fact that it was higher than Nolan Ryan, that shows how great of a year Sale has had, because Ryan, like I said earlier, he's all-time leader in strikeouts, and he never even had a K per 9 rating as high as Sale's. It's unbelievable. Like I said, that a guy who's the all-time leader in strikeouts hadn't had that. But as far as Ryan's is concerned, he had longevity, which is key as far as to try to get a lot of strikeouts in a career, which his record will probably never be broken. But as far as just getting it in a season, longevity is key. Staying healthy is very important, not going on the DL. All that stuff plays a factor. Going deep into games, like I said, Sale's done all that. And him going this far deep into games is going to really help his cause to win Cy Young. And as far as the Red Sox, if they're able to win the division, that will not hurt as far as trying to get Cy Young award as well. And it's unbelievable the fact that most of his strikeouts have come away from Fenway Park. It's unbelievable. Just amazing how he's able to throw the ball down, and what he does really works. And he's just throwing that many strikeouts. It's unbelievable for a guy that is that skinny, like I said. And the guy like that doesn't even look that strong at all. And he's had history of wearing down late in the season when he was with the Chicago White Sox. Pretty unbelievable how he was able to hold out and get it. I don't know if he'll break the record, but if he does what he did in the last game against the Orioles, he'll break it, because he's at 300 flat. If he could get double-digit strikeouts, he needs 14 strikeouts to break Pedro's record. I don't know if he's going to do it. Maybe they won't let him push it that much, depending on how the game goes. If it's a close game, maybe not. Depending on how many pitches he throws, that all plays a factor. Throwing a lot of pitches could really hurt as far as trying to get strikeouts, because they could hurt the chances of going deep into games. And usually strikeouts take a lot out of you as far as throwing pitches is concerned. And it's a lot of innings when it comes to throwing strikes. When it comes to throwing strikes, you get a lot of pitches and not throw as many innings as you would like if you just got more ground balls and flyouts and lineouts and pop-ups. But because he's getting strikeouts, it takes at least 3 pitches per bat. And that plays a big factor as far as trying to get deep into games. But Sale has made it work as he's been able to get 300 strikeouts. It's an unbelievable accomplishment. Congrats to him, as he deserves that accomplishment because of all the strikeouts he's thrown, and unbelievable, like how much longevity it takes to be able to throw that many strikeouts and the key is staying healthy, as he's been able to do the whole year and not wear down either, which, like I said, he's had a history of doing that. And just throwing that many strikes is just unbelievable. Great command. And him being a sidearm doesn't hurt either. He started his career in the bullpen. And look where he is now, throwing 300 strikeouts in a year. It's just unbelievable how many strikeouts he's been able to do. It's incredible because he's made history there. And I still can't believe it hasn't been done since '99, like I said. It's unbelievable because there's been so many strikeout pitchers in baseball. Guys that throw harder couldn't even get as many strikeouts as Sale has. Probably because the harder it is, you would think it would be more likely more strikeouts, but not in Sale's case because he's not a pitcher who throws hard. He just has really good command, and that plays a factor as well. When certain hitters could go reach up high in the zone, when the ball goes up in the zone, they strike out depending on how the hitter is. But Sale throws a lot of sliders, and that plays a role as far as hitters chasing because that's an instinct. Hitters may think it's a fastball, but instead it's a slider, and a lot of that plays a big role as far as getting strikeouts because of certain hitters' personalities and how they hit, as well as the way they handle the pitches and how far they go down to the strike zone or up in the strike zone. All that stuff plays a big factor in getting strikeouts, and Sale's been able to accomplish a lot to getting strikeouts. As he's one of the best pitchers in baseball, like I said, and he deserves the accomplishment because it's very rare. I don't know how often they could do it in baseball because, like I said, longevity, throwing a lot of innings, staying healthy, that's all a factor that gets into strikeouts. Even though getting a lot of strikeouts could cause pitchers to throw a lot of pitches, which is usually the case. But as far as trying to manage that, try to throw as many strikeouts as possible in longevity. That all plays a big factor. And pretty incredible to see what he was able to do there. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.